George, that's fine.
Tonight on
But
News
what we
Center,
recommend
safety
is
tips
go
from
in there.
MSU's Police Department's Mike Martin, highlights from last week's MSU versus EKU game, and an interview with Career Services' Haley Murphy. All this and more tonight on News Center.
A career coach for Morehead State's Career Services.
Good evening and welcome to News Center. I'm Eden Jordan.
And I'm Erica Johnson.
Here's what's making headlines for September 13th, 2018. Morehead State University is having to make some tough decisions about how to continue in light of recent unprecedented multi-million-dollar budget cuts. The current plan to reduce the number of buildings to have a smaller campus with nicer updated buildings rather than continue with a large campus composed of older buildings, expensive to maintain.
MSU's Laughlin Hall has been the location of hundreds of student activities since the day it opened, but its purpose may be changing very soon. Morehead State University sold the Laughlin building to the city of Morehead to be used as a community center. Student Government Association President Brandon Breyer met with News Center to discuss the changes soon to come.
So something that I've been kind of advocating for as SGA president and student region and kind of talking with Dr. Morgan about is my main concerns of the bowling team, the volleyball team, continued use. I know a lot of student organizations use Laughlin for general purposes, as well as the downsizing of the parking lot that's in between the Eagle View apartments as well as Gaddy's. And there's 79 to 80 spots in that parking lot that we will now lose when we transition it over. And so those have been my big main points that I've been advocating for. I've been told that the partnership would include access to the bowling alley, so we will still continue to have a bowling team. We will still continue to have students being able to pay the fee to go and visit just as they normally would. The Weatherby and Laughlin, Weatherby is where the volleyball team plays. From my understanding, that will be shut. The doors in between the two buildings will be shut so that the volleyball team can continue to practice, continue to run throughout their season, while the city will retain control of Laughlin and continue to operate in that capacity. And so, and then student organizations I've not heard about. I'm not sure of what access we're going to be able to have, if it's going to come with a fee, if it's going to come with anything. But again, the whole broad picture of this is the reduction in operating costs and maintenance costs.
2 years ago, the plan was to tear Laughlin down. In a new plan driven by President Morgan, rather than being torn down, the building will maintain the police department, bowling alley, and Weatherby gym as a part of campus and separate from the community center. This decision was made in an effort to reduce the operating cost of the university in the midst of budget issues coming from Frankfurt.
Musician Mac Miller was found dead on September 7th in his home in Studio City, California. It's believed that he suffered a drug overdose, but no official statement has been released. Many other artists are paying their respect to the late musician. Since his passing, album sales for his recently released album, Swimming, have seen a rapid growth. Before passing at the age of 26, Miller started his career at 16, released 5 studio albums, and started his own record label.
The rising musical phenomenon Be More Chill will be taking to Broadway at the Lycum Theater on February 13, 2019. Based on the Ned Vizzini novel of the same title, its original run was in 2015 at the Two River Theater. Since then, the show slowly gained internet popularity, which created a demand for a second run presented this past summer. The overwhelming success of the second run sang the musical all the way to the Broadway stage.
The annual Farmers Trade Days took place on August 31st through September 1st. Our Harvey Rice was there.
We decided a couple years ago to start back the trade days here in Farmers. They used to have it down here many years ago, but it kind of come to an end.
Basically, we come down here to Farmers, try to get rid of some of our garage sale stuff that's been left over.
We have quality craft tools, a fine line selection of tools here. Plus we have yard sale items. Quality Craft Tools is out of Hillsboro, Ohio. Been in business for 48 years with lifetime warranty on their tools. We have plenty of clothing, dolls, movies, etc.
The trade days are going. The funds for most of it goes to the area development to help with their flood pumps, their street lights. We just try to get the whole community involved, not just a few, but everyone.
Would have loved to seen a lot of people out here today. As you can see, we're hot and sweaty.
A lot of rain.
We battled the weather for 3 days down here, and it's been a decent turnout, but maybe next year it'll be better.
Trying to put farmers back on the map to let people know that we are still here. We were flooded in 2010 and it wiped just about everybody out down here, but we are still here. We still have a few businesses down here. We still strive each day to keep everything going.
We're back with Sahara LaForce for your weather preview.
All right, so we all know that there was some pretty bad rain and flooding at the beginning of this week. But thankfully, for most of the rest of the week, it's been pretty sunny, kind of partly cloudy, especially today and yesterday. But for the most part, it's been pretty pleasant for the rest of the week following all that flooding. And then as we go into next week, we are going to be seeing some more rain, though not a lot. It's mostly Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And the weather is going to go down a bit for that particular weather experience. But then we are going to get back up into the 80s. So we're not seeing that autumn weather we all want so much quite yet, but we are coming up on it.
Well, we'll just have to keep our fingers crossed from now on.
Absolutely. As long as it's a little chilly by Halloween.
Right.
Thanks, Sahara. When we come back, we have an interview with Haley Murphy from Career Services.
Yo, why are you looking at bags, bro? What you need is a chick magnet. You put me in the room and boom, chicks. That's what I'm talking about.
This is Charlie. Charlie wakes up and gets ready for class like most students. But Charlie doesn't have breakfast. Charlie feels unfulfilled. This is Nick. Nick gets up and gets ready as well, but Nick makes breakfast and feels great. Don't skip the most important meal of the day. Eat breakfast.
Hi Haley, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me here.
I just want to ask you a couple questions about the Career Services. I know the Resume Blitz is coming up, and I was wanting to know if you could tell us a little more about that.
Yeah, it's actually a really unique and interesting event. We invite recruiters and hiring managers from various companies, mostly in this area, some that are even nationwide. It's a 2-day event, takes place in the Career Center from 10 to 2 p.m. You'll be able to bring in your resume. We recommend bringing a couple copies. If you need copies, we'll make them for you. You're going to get to sit down with employers, as many as you like, and get them to critique your resume. So you're actually getting like employer feedback before you actually apply. So it's something that not every student's going to get. We really recommend this event, especially if you're approaching the finish line, getting close to graduating.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing that. Can you tell us a little bit more about the career fair we'll be having?
So the career fair is coming up on October 2nd. It's in Laughlin Gym from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So far we've got over 90 employers registered, and then we think that we're going to hit the over 100 mark, possibly even more than that. So we're really excited about that. There's going to be employers, grad schools, and we really try to have something from everyone. So it doesn't matter what your major is, it can literally be anything, and we're going to have someone that meets your needs and is looking for a student like that. One of the big things that we kind of preach is like, don't wait until you're a senior to come to the career fair. It's equally important as you're a freshman. It can be kind of an overwhelming event, like you're in a room with hundreds of people and their employers, and they're all kind of looking at you. Come as a freshman, dress professionally, and just walk around and talk to people. It's a great way to kind of get your feet wet and be more confident as you go through school. And with that, we actually have a Career Fair Plus app. You can find it on the Apple Store. It's a way to look at all the employers coming. You can favorite them. You can sort them by major. A couple different things you can do with it. One of the big things that I like is, go through and kind of plan out who you're going to speak to. A lot of times you have class on the day of the career fair. You don't have time necessarily, to be there all day. Plan out what employers you're going to talk to ahead of time, and have an elevator pitch of yourself, just a little 30-second spiel prepared. That way when you're walking up to them, you're not as nervous, you're not as afraid. Another big thing that I recommend is bring your resume with you to that event. Hopefully you've just had it critiqued at the Resume Blitz. Bring it with you, have it to hand out to employers. Whether they're hiring or not, they might keep it in a stack. That's actually what happened to me. That's how I got my first job. So it's a really important thing to do. And then with that, just make sure that you're presenting yourself in the best way. Make sure you dress professional. I recommend getting a headshot while you're there. They're free, and they're perfect to use on your LinkedIn profile.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any more events that we should be looking forward to?
Yeah, we've actually got an interview workshop and a interactive LinkedIn workshop. That's a pretty important one. We'll help you create your whole profile, get it started, get you another professional headshot if you need it, and help you fill it out. That way you're putting your best foot forward to employers.
Well, thank you, Haley.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with your weather update.
This is Charlie. Charlie wakes up and gets ready for class like most students. But Charlie doesn't have breakfast. Charlie feels unfulfilled. This is Nick. Nick gets up and gets ready as well, but Nick makes breakfast and feels great. Don't skip the most important meal of the day. Eat breakfast.
Dude, we've been out all day.
Breckenridge Hall.
What's so cool about Breckenridge Hall?
Hello and good evening. I am Sahara LaForce with News Center and Moorhead. This is your weather. Currently in Moorhead, it is a nice 87 degrees and partly cloudy with humidity of 63% and winds of 1 mile per hour. It's been pretty toasty today, but mostly towards the evening. We have started to see some cooler temperatures in the morning, so your early morning commute to classes hasn't been as humid and hot as it has been for the beginning of the semester, but we are starting to see cooler weathers. Now, the record temperature for this date in the past in Moorhead is a high of 96 degrees in 1939 with a record low of 35 degrees in 1940. Now, the normal high for this time of year is 81 degrees with a normal low of 56 degrees. So we are a bit higher than the normal high for this time of year, same with the normal low at nighttime. So we have been erring on the side of a little bit warmer, but like I said, we are starting to cool down. Not quite yet, but we're starting to. Now for a look at our temperature map, we have 90 degrees in Bowling Green, 87 degrees in Louisville, 89 degrees in Frankfort, 86 in Lexington, and 87 in Moorhead. Now for a look at tonight's forecast, we have a low of 69 degrees and partly cloudy with a 20% chance of precipitation. Now for tomorrow, we have a high of 88 degrees and it's going to be partly cloudy, so pretty warm again tomorrow. Now for a look at our 7-day forecast. We are going to be in the mid to high 80s for most of the week, But we are going to have some rain Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. It is going to significantly cool us down. It's going to start getting hot once again going towards the end of the week, but it's going to be very comfortable. Now let's kick it over to sports with Olivia.
Nike is receiving a negative backlash from sponsoring NFL football player Colin Kaepernick after declaring to air an ad during the NFL's opening telecast starring the player. Kaepernick is known for starting the Taking a Knee movement during the national anthem at NFL games to protest racial inequality and police brutality. Outraged fans are now starting to burn their Nike products all across America in response to Nike's decision to sponsor Kaepernick. Kaepernick has expressed to believe in something, even if it means sacrificing it all. On Thursday, August 30th, Morehead State football suffered a 49-23 loss in their season opener at Eastern Kentucky University.
State football opened their 2018 season against Eastern Kentucky last Thursday night at Roy Kidd Stadium. The Eagles put up a good fight before falling short 49-23 to EKU. The Eagles trailed by only 11 points at the half. The score remained 18-7 until the third quarter when EKU put up 2 more touchdowns. Towards the end of the fourth, Morehead State scored 2 more touchdowns, leaving the field with a score of 49-23 to end the game.
Playing EKU on Thursday, I thought we did a lot of good things. I thought for a scholarship opponent, us coming out and matching their intensity. We went into the half at 18-7, left a few points out there on the field, but for the most part, I think we put together a pretty good first half. This upcoming game, we're playing at home. So just coming out and matching their intensity and playing like we did on Thursday. It was the first game. Everybody had their pregame jitters and stuff like that. But I feel like if we come out and play with our enthusiasm and energy that we did with last Thursday, then we should be able to beat Mount St. Joe.
Morehead State soccer suffered a loss to Kent State last Friday at Dick Stadium. The Eagles were down 2-0 to the Golden Flashes at the half. Danny Wilson scored 2 goals for the Eagles in the 57th and 64th minutes to bring life to the Eagles in the second half. Both of Wilson's goals were assisted by senior Samantha DeMonte. After making a comeback, the Eagles held the score 2-2 until late in the second half. Despite the Eagles' fight to come back, Kent State found the back of the net for their third goal, sealing the win for the Golden Flashes. The Eagles will now shift their focus to OVC play as Eastern Illinois comes to James Stadium Friday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern. Olivia Lohmeyer claims OVC Offensive Player of the Week for the second straight week after helping the Eagles to a perfect weekend at the Blue and Gold Tournament in Toledo, Ohio. Morehead State improved to 3-0 in the Blue and Gold Tournament with a straight set sweep over Duquesne. The Eagles defeated the Dukes 25-23, 25-17, and 25-19 in 3 sets. The perfect tournament led to the Eagles placing 3 players on the Blue and Gold All-Tournament roster. Redshirt senior Jesse Watchman, receiving Tournament Most Valuable Player, redshirt junior Danielle McCarson, and sophomore Lauren Roque were all named to the All-Tournament roster. Morehead State remains on the road this weekend at the West Virginia Classic in Morgantown, West Virginia. The 2-day event wraps up the Eagles' non-conference play as they take on hosts West Virginia, Wake Forest, and Penn. Stay tuned for more news after the break.
How to stay safe on campus is on the mind of every student away at college. News Center's Olivia Leet was able to interview a campus official to get some helpful safety tips.
College is an exciting and fun time in many students' lives, but one thing to keep in mind in order to maintain the excitement is understanding how to stay safe on campus.
You can walk in pairs together, late at night or early morning hours to and from different places.
MSU Police Department Detective Mike Martin shares how to be safe on campus.
You can use our shuttle, which is offered up until usually about 2 o'clock in the morning. We start at about 7:30 of a night here, the shuttle that's run by the police department.
Martin also suggests one item students can use if they do feel unsafe on campus.
One of the biggest things we use and recommend is the Live Safe app, which you can put on your phone. And if your parents or a friend has it, they can track you from one place to another until you get where you need to go. Then during the day, we have the bigger shuttles. Of course, it runs throughout campus as well during the day on that.
Not only does the MSU Police Department help with safety on campus, but they also propose many ways to stay safe at social gatherings.
There's a lot of parties going on, which we know that students are going to these parties, which that's their choice, that's fine. But what we recommend is go in pairs. If you're going to be a drinker or you're going to drink that night, have someone looking out for you. Do not sit your drinks down. Keep your drinks in your hand, at all times, or let your friend keep control of your drink.
There is one more important item that Martin wants all students to remember.
At Moorhead, the campus is a nice, friendly campus. Get to know the staff. If you have a question, ask those questions, and if we don't know the answer, we'll try to get you an answer.
For News Center, I'm Olivia Leet.
Thanks, Olivia. MSU police office hours and contact information are located on the campus website.
There was nearly 6.5 inches of rain Sunday night, resulting in floods across Moorhead State's campus, causing a 2-hour delay on classes Monday morning. Multiple campus buildings were damaged by heavy rains and flooding. Rowan County's public schools were closed Monday because of the dangerous road conditions.
A search for a missing 9-year-old boy is now in recovery effort after the child was swept away by floodwaters this past Sunday. Almost every county sent a first responder to assist in the search. The young boy, Bryce Combs, was last seen near the bank of Triplet Creek behind the old Rowan County Middle School. More than 50 first responders were sent out for the search. Many people also volunteered their time to locate the boy. If you have any further information about the missing boy, please contact the Moorhead State Police Department immediately.
Career Services hosted a resume lab in Burt Combs this past week. News Center's Lainey Blevins was there.
Students at Moorhead State University attended Career Services Resume Lab last week.
I actually started out as an administrative specialist here at the Career Center and kind of stumbled into the role of career coach, but I absolutely love it. I like working with students, kind of getting to know them one-on-one, helping them prepare for life after college, because it's kind of scary. So I think it helps to have that reassurance before you graduate and throughout your college experience.
That was Haley Murphy, a career coach for Moorhead State's Career Services.
The lab does an excellent job of getting people around professionals that'll get their resumes up to par. Usually kids don't know any idea of what they should put on their resume. So the resume lab will definitely help people, including me, get ready for the real world.
Career Services sees a significant amount of students a day, according to Murphy.
I was actually talking to one of the professionals in there. He actually helped me make my first resume.
For more information about resumes, contact Career Services at 606-783-2233.
Moorhead State University has been recognized and ranked the #1 public college in the state of Kentucky for 2018. In the most recent college consensus, excuse me, you can find Moorhead State ranked number 11 on the list overall. Moorhead State was also ranked 23 out of 100 in most affordable colleges. The college consensus includes everything from major public universities to small private colleges, honoring the best colleges in Kentucky for their commitment to excellence. MSU is consistently ranked as one of the top universities in the South. After the break, we'll be back with more news.
Can y'all do that fast? Natasha Davis, the Associate Professor of Dance here at Morehead State University. Under the Dance Minor program, you will learn a variety of genres of dance, including tap, ballet, modern, jazz, hip-hop, African, dance composition, dance improvisation, dance history, intro to dance, and Pilates. If you are interested, you can become a member of our National Dance Honors Fraternity, Delta Chi Xi. This fraternity offers students the opportunity to spread dance not only on our campus, but throughout the community. If you're interested in any of our classes, please come and contact me, Professor Natasha Davis. And never miss a chance to dance.
This is Charlie. Charlie wakes up and gets ready for class like most students. But Charlie doesn't have breakfast. Charlie feels unfulfilled. This is Nick. Nick gets up and gets ready as well, but Nick makes breakfast and feels great. Don't skip the most important meal of the day. Eat breakfast.
Homosexuality in India has been decriminalized as of September 6, 2018. The decision a unanimous decision in New Delhi, India. Chief of Justice of India, Deepak Misra, states that the LGBTQ community has the same rights as the citizens of India. The identity of a person is very important, as well as everyone having equal rights and treatment. This court verdict is a major milestone for the Indian LGBTQ community.
Former Senator John McCain passed away on August 25, 2018 at the age of 81. McCain had been battling a malignant brain tumor since 2017. The senator suffered being a prisoner of war from 1967 until 1973 during the Vietnam War. Despite this, McCain pushed forward to become a Republican congressman, a senator from Arizona, and a contender for presidency twice. McCain was laid to rest September 2nd at the United States Naval Academy Cemetery.
Apple's annual keynote event announced some big releases in the upcoming months. The company announced a new iteration of their Apple Watch with the Apple Watch Series 4. The watch features upgrades to the design, as well as including the first over-the-counter product with an ECG. Apple also announced their new line of iPhone with the iPhone XS, the iPhone XS Max, and the iPhone XR. The iPhone XS and XS Max are upgraded forms of their iPhone X from 2017, including a new processor and a bigger screen on the XS Max. The iPhone XR is set to be a more economical version of the iPhone X, offering a wider variety of colors as well as a...
That's all the news we have for you this week.
Make sure you tune in next week.